We got 5 stats we got to get to that are going to help us make informed predictions for this weekend's game against the Commanders. After a quick word from FanDuel. Hey, NFL fans, you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get in a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's at FanDuel.com/UCSS. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
We'll preview the Guardians and the Tigers in about 15, 20 minutes, but go ahead, Mike.
All right, we just talked about Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Getting Nick Chubb will be incredibly beneficial for this first stat we're going to start with. And, Bull, you actually contributed to this first stat, so I appreciate it. The Browns are the worst first down team in football right now, especially when it comes to running the ball. Against Vegas, they ran the ball 7 times for 9 yards, a 1.28 yard per carry average, a 14% success rate.
On first down, you're talking about.
On the first down.
Yeah.
On the season, on first down runs.
That's terrible.
They have 34 attempts, 100 yards for a 2.9 yard per carry, a 23.5% success rate. They are by far the least efficient running team on first down in football, which is putting them in third and long situations. We'll talk about third down in a second. And, Bull, you gave us the stat on Monday. The Browns are dead last in the NFL in terms of running backs, yards after contact.
Right. You go from Nick Chubb, who's the best in football, yards after contact, to mostly Jerome Ford, who has been terrible at yards after contact. Jason made the point of 7 he never breaks a tackle. He actually broke 2 tackles last week. And
after Jason texted.
Yeah, and that big run he had, he did break a tackle. But generally, he does not break tackles. And, yeah, I mean, think about it. Every time they run, their average second down is second and 7.
Or
Basically second
second
and a
and
long
7,
7, if you will. So that puts you, and that's why they've been throwing a lot on first down, because they're having no success running the ball on first down.
Well, it definitely makes play calling hard when you don't get a lot of yards on first down. That's a shame, though. Like, I don't understand why they aren't effective. Do you think it's more the offensive line, or do you think it's more the running back? What was it?
I think it's both.
Was it like that in Jacksonville when they did Jacksonville game? I know that. Never mind.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I just know for the season, they have a 23.5% success rate running the ball on first down.
When you got guys up front and their PFF grades is in the 40s, I just heard Sean King say, man, 79, he's not good for nothing. He ain't good for run blocking or pass blocking.
Who was 79?
Big DeJuan.
Damn, I thought you knew everybody's number.
I don't know their number.
I'm like, and Jerome Ford has an occasional burst here or there. That's what he's known for, but that's the Eric Metcalf effect. You see what I'm saying? You there's some yards out there that you just need to ram it and just get you a couple of yards, right? And
that's not his thing.
That ain't his thing, right? And also, I think Bernie does a good job of talking about it. All this 2-point stance, sitting back and shotgun coming off, you ain't got no leverage. They way too high. They play so high. I've never seen somebody's pad levels. They would look up there, they ballet dancing with people. You got to come off the ball and hit somebody in the ear hole, Tyvis. They think they out here playing like the secondary.
It's an identity crisis. Or I can say there's some 24 back there. Maybe they will.
Jerome Ford is better as a change of pace back, occasional. I could even see them. I think Jerome Ford could be effective, like with Nick Chubb in the backfield. Ford spread out a little bit.
But isn't the best thing about him is his catching ability?
Yeah,
so
and his ability in space.
What's the one running back we had that was like that? Just a couple years ago, he was
Ontario Hardesty.
No.
Duke Johnson?
No, not
Duke. Duke Johnson was a good passer.
He went to UCLA. He was a running back / receiver.
Oh, Felton. Felton.
Demetric Felton.
I was going to say.
But Duke Johnson was a good pass catcher,
I was going to say Isaiah Crowell.
He's decent back for a while. Then he got himself into trouble.
Terrence West?
Terrence
West. That's old school right there. Go ahead, Mike.
All
Number
right,
2.
second stat. So we know the Browns are the only team in football that haven't scored 20 points this year. They're also the only team in football that hasn't gained 300 total yards as a team.
Really?
Part of it is because they stink on first down. The other part is because they also stink on third down. They're the worst first down team and the worst third down team in football.
God.
They've converted 11 of 54 third down attempts this season for a 20.75% conversion rating. That is dead last in the NFL. Denver, with Bo Nix, is 31st, nearly 4 points higher than the Cleveland Browns. On the flip side, Washington is the worst third down defense in the NFL. They are allowing opponents to convert 46.25% of the time on third down.
No,
something has to give.
54.76%.
Well, that's their stop rate. So the other teams convert 46% of the time. I should have just read what was on the graphic.
Yeah. That's
yes,
weird.
They stop the other opponent almost 55% of the time. 45%.
Something's got to give, right?
Something's got to give.
Hey, Washington's playing? Washington's offense is playing out of its mind.
Yeah.
Their defense is not very good.
Yeah, they just outscoring people.
Yeah. Jayden Daniels has been awesome.
Crazy.
What's his name? Their running back. Although he's banged up.
Brian
Robinson's been excellent, but he's banged up.
Oh, really?
Austin Eckler's banged up. He didn't play last week. They used, what's his name? Jeremy McNichols?
J-Mac. I played with him in San Francisco.
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
J-Mac, I see you, baby.
He's been playing. And obviously we know what Terry McLaurin is. I mean, they got a lot of talent on offense.
Scary Terry.
But their defense is not very good.
Where they secondary, is it? I mean, they D-line, I think they still got the 2 D tackles. So
I
mean, I don't know what they're doing.
They didn't play well against the Bengals. I know that.
Man, you listen. If there's any way you can be up against a game, and this is a game in which this is a game Jayden Daniels can come on back down to earth.
He could, yeah.
He can come on right on back down to earth. Like I know he's playing well. And by the way, shout out to my wife who says, you know, babe, I'm really scared about this game. I said, why? She was like, I do parlay. I said, I thought you told me. I think you doing parlays. I did it. No. Listen. I help out my Asian friends. Asian friend don't know United States parlay. So I tell her.
She didn't even know what football was.
Now you doing parlay. She said, I don't put any money. I just pick. I work with Aussie. She is going to do parlay. But I scared about this game, baby. The Jayden Daniels.
Everybody loves Jayden Daniels.
Such a ball player. I said, when did you watch Jayden Daniels?
We got some Jayden Daniels stats coming up at the end of this.
By the way, real quick, have you guys seen the video of Joe Shane's son, the Giants GM? And it was like from Hard Knocks. I hadn't seen it, but they recently put it out.
Yeah.
And Joe Shane is like asking his son, like he's kind of joking, but he's asking his teenage son, who should I draft? Who do you think we should draft? And the kid goes, Dad, you got to draft Jayden Daniels. He goes, we're not going to be able to get him. He's like, you got to trade up. He's like, Dad, this is your chance as a GM. You got to trade up and get Jayden Daniels.
That's badass. Wow. I like that. I like that.
Wow.
Yeah. They ended up with Malik Neighbors. So
Malik Neighbors is a great player, but they don't have a quarterback.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, next stat. We actually gave this stat earlier in the week, Bull, but we're going to give it again. The Browns, once again this season, are terrific on the opening drive of the season. Stefanski's opening script is as good as any team in football. The Browns have scored 60 total offensive points this season. They scored 66, take out the defensive touchdown against the Raiders. 24 of those 60 points have come on the Browns' first offensive possession of the game. The 15-play touchdown against the Raiders, the 1-play touchdown against the Giants, the 16-play touchdown drive against the Jaguars, and a 6-play field goal drive against Dallas. 40% of the team's total points have come on their opening drive of the season, by far the highest percentage in the entire NFL. On their 42 other drives, which does include kneel down, so it's probably really 39-ish, they've scored 34 total points. That is 0.81 points per drive. Once again, the lowest number in the NFL.
That's crazy.
I mean, but the thing is, like, it's a new offense, and like I say, a lot of people think when you get a new offense, it's just gonna click right away, and sometimes it does. We're in
the worst though.
We're in the situation where it ain't click yet.
But there's other teams with rookie coaches, rookie quarterbacks. They're all better than this.
Hey, Tyvis, listen,
they know no better.
Hey, Nuggets, I asked Sean King point blank yesterday. I said, bro, this don't look like no straightforward one band, one sound play calling system where it's like it's a very who's in charge. This looked like a mismatch, and he said it. You go back and rewind and make sure you go check out that interview. He said this is a mismatch of plays between the philosophy of Kevin Stefanski and Ken Dorsey.
You know what, though? You know what? Now that you say that, Now that we talk about the coaching staff, and remember we talked Tuesday about how they got this new run game specialist. You think that affects Nick Chubb?
Yes and no. Yes, because I don't think there is creative, and they don't have. You went from a guy in Bill Callahan. That's why I cannot believe you just told me that. You go from a guy like Bill Callahan who knows offensive line play, and he's the run game coordinator, and he's called plays before. So now he creative. He know what to call based on the skill set of the guys up front. He know what Wyatt Teller do best. He know that Ethan Poaches can't block him one-on-one. So he like, we're going to double team this one. But we're going to pin and pull on this one. But then you got a new dude?
You also, you said that you was going to a more pass and attack. So
what?
He said, my son just got hired, and I always wanted to coach for my son.
And now
how's the Tennessee running game doing anyway? It ain't like great, is it?
Their offensive line's been bad so far.
So that's why I say yes and no. You got to have the dogs to run what you want to run and execute.
Yeah.
And you have to have running backs that have innate vision, right? Like, the thing Leroy said about holding, it's like that is true. Like the goal of the running back, he figures all that stuff out in the backfield.
That's right.
You blow people off the ball, and he work off you, not try to take somebody this way over. Nah, that ain't it.
And that's not working for the Browns. All right, rapid fire the last two, Mike.
Yeah, no, it's a rapid fire, but just don't want to get too
semi-rapid fire.
Tyvis, talk about the defense to start the show, and they're not playing with enough fiery passion is kind of how you described it earlier. Against Vegas, they missed 20 tackles according to Next Gen Stats.
Oh, my God.
That led to 99 extra rushing yards for the Raiders, who, as we talked about numerous times, ran for 153 yards against Cleveland. They had been averaging 43 yards on the ground leading into that. They had 2 wide receivers score rushing touchdowns. It's the first time that's happened in a game since 2009. And according to Pro Football Reference, the Browns ranked 15th in missed tackles this season.
Well, 15th is not terrible, but
it's average.
The last week is.
They were top 3 before this game.
Oh. So they had been tackling well until this week.
You can't run reverses on Tecmo Bowl.
They ran a tight end jet sweep for a first down.
Yeah,
First of all, wait a minute. Hold on now. Brock Bowers been running that jet sweep since Georgia.
And I've been complaining about that stupid jet sweep with Georgia. I'm like, you going to let a tight end?
He like that.
He's a pretty athletic tight end.
Man, listen, I'm sorry. I still, as a defensive lineman, there are 2 things that they tell you. You are never to let tight ends get yards after the catch, and if the tight end is trying to block you or is running the football, that is a loss. The Browns, I'm not disrespecting Brock Bowers, but they let everybody do that.
That's true. They did.
They let Gardner Minshew run read options up the field. They do a bad job. Our defensive line, and I don't know who coaches them up, they do a bad job of retracing their steps. Obo Ankaranko ran down the line. Like he was just running up the field, and you're creating a gap. You got to squeeze that down. We got defensive ends that are just jetting up the field, and guess what? Guys are using that against you. They're running around you, running underneath you, running draw. It's nasty work, bro.
Next, Mike.
All right, this is the Jayden Daniels stats, and it's a culmination of some of the craziest Jayden Daniels stats I was able to pull off the internet over the last couple of days. He has been incredible. The numbers are crazy. Through 4 games in his career as a starting quarterback, he's led 23 scoring drives. He's thrown 19 incompletions. Think about that. He has 4 more scoring drives than he does incompletions. He has the highest completion percentage in NFL history. Through 4 games, 82.1%. Tom Brady was second. That was the almost undefeated 2007 season at 79.2%. He's thrown over 85% completion percentage in the last 2 games, first quarterback ever to go back-to-back games with 85% completion percentage. In their last 3 games, Washington has punted a grand total of once. And, Bo, how about this? In 4 career starts, Jayden Daniels has 2 games where he has scored on every possession minus kneel downs. 2 out of 4. Brady, Breeze, Manning, and Mahomes combined to do that twice in their career in 1,094 starts.
That's good stat. And it doesn't mean he's going to be the next great quarterback. He might be, he might not. But
I'm glad
he's played great so far.
I am so glad I took the road to dice and drafted him in my other fantasy league. It was the smartest thing.
I got him in 3 leagues.
I got him in 1. Only in 2 leagues.
You know, and I want everybody to tape this and write it down so you don't look like G. Bush is just being emotional when I say it. If Jim Schwartz does not have his game plan together and they don't have rush lane integrity and guys don't rush and keep him inside the pocket, he gonna break the internet.
Yeah, I mean, he's like,
he gonna break the internet.
He has the athletic ability. He's as good. I mean, he's as good as Lamar. Maybe not quite Lamar, but
he's not.
But anybody else, right?
Well, he's gonna break the. They will run read option on you.
Yeah.
They will run
which we struggle with.
Speed option, reverses, jet motion, and just getting out of the pocket extending. If you don't keep him in the pocket, and when I complain about this on Sunday at this post-game show, do not tell me I'm emotional. I told you on Thursday. They should be working on it right now in Berea. He's going to break the internet. He's going to have almost 100 yards. And in the red zone, he gonna make you look silly.
Did he break the record for most yards in the first 4 games?
Oh, Daniels?
Yeah.
No. And he only has 3 touchdown passes. He has 4 rushing touchdowns, 3 touchdown passes.
Although that's unfair because Lamar Jackson technically played in a number of games before he started. Like they would bring him in a couple of times with Flacco.
That boy, he ain't Lamar Jackson, but he right up underneath him.
Yeah.
Man. He gonna break the internet.
Man,
I'm telling you.
Broke the internet.
All right.